Welcome to my bag presentation. My name is Isaac Rodriguez. I am 23 years old. This is my third year attending Lone Star. My degree is computer science. Hopefully going to try to get the bachelor's as well as the master's. My goal right now is trying to attend to Sam Houston. This is pretty much like my last semester before I transfer in the fall. It's going pretty good. Been looking through, trying to see if there's any internships so I could get joined ahead of time. Things that I like to do: I like to play soccer, I like to play other sports, basketball, volleyball, as well as like to listen to music. I'm very like open on different types of genres of music. My favorite, I would say, is jazz, as well as I would say Tejano, a bit of Mexican American with a little bit of country. Another things to do, I like to play a lot of board games right now as well as card games. Right now I've been really getting into playing Pokemon. I've been playing it since I was a kid and been taking it up to a competitive scene now. I'm actually going to be going to a trip this weekend, somewhere in San Antonio, for a big venue that they're going to have for this tournament. Hopefully it goes well. My bag here is one of my presentations. This is where all my stuff is going to be in. I didn't want to decorate it because this was imported from Mexico, and I like the leather in it and stuff, the material, and I didn't want to mess it up because it's kind of hard to find here. I did have this ahead of time as well, which was my name with my adjectives. I mean, I try to think about it as much because my name is like, I have two A's, so it's kind of weird, but I do have different adjectives that represent me in a way. It's kind of, I don't know, it's a bit questionable in some of it, but it's from what I think. I don't really like to put stuff like that on myself because it's like, I don't know, it just feels weird. But I would say for the I, influential, I would say mainly because I have a younger brother who is, oh god, he's in senior, so he's 5 years older or 5 years younger than me, so 17, I believe, 22, yeah, 17. And yeah, I like to try to be someone who influences him to the right way, as well as try to send him to a good path. And I believe as well, like, as for me, like, when I was younger as well, I tried to defend him. I try to be like the older brother, and I think it's worked pretty well now. He plays sports as well. He's actually doing good. He's in the varsity, and as well he plays clubs. So it's like a club team outside of school. And I mean, he's probably better than me at this point. But yeah, I mean, I like to be influential as well whenever it comes to teams and stuff. I like to be the upper voice and guide other people into a good path. Try to be the team captain as well. The S, social. To believe it or not, right? When I was young, I was never really social because I don't know. I was always. I mean, till this day now, I'm kind of scared doing this stuff, But I try to push myself to do it, and like try to go bit by bit, and try to open myself, be more social with other people. So I managed to do a lot of my friends in college because a lot of my other friends either started working straight out of high school or just didn't go to college. So it was kind of difficult trying to hang out with other friends outside of school while you were in school, the only one in the friend group. So kind of had to diverse into different friend groups. I'm glad I did that. I got to meet new friends, and try to learn as well new cultures, and just enjoy whatever I can. Adventurous, I like for the first A. Let's see if you can see. Yeah, adventures. I like to go out and try new stuff. Occasionally, not most times, but I do try to push myself. I don't normally tend to do the same thing over and over. I kind of like just try to see what else I could do. I think that's the part of me where, like growing up, it's like I don't like to do stuff repeatedly for weeks and weeks on. Like I like to try new different things, try learn a new language, try to build something I haven't built, like a Lego set that I tried to do not that long ago. And yeah, try to play new games. Try to just do whatever I can. You try to be adventurous as well, and as well. Like I recently went to Mexico in December, and over there as well, I try to look around, try to see the difference of what it is living here, and be grateful for what I have, and as well, like with my cousin and stuff. I asked them questions that normally you wouldn't ask in a way. It would just be more of like trying to just trying to know, and they understood as well. They asked me the same questions because they mainly their part is that they live over there and haven't really I guess you could say traveled outside of Mexico, and as well for me, it was my first time or second time actually going over there. But yeah, I did really enjoy it, and try to see new things, try to see new areas as well. Um, Ambitious. For my other A, let's see, because it's clear. I like to push myself a lot. I try to not just push myself, but other people who are within me. Friends and family members. I try with the negative stuff. I always try to push it away, and I mean sometimes I do embrace it just to give myself that power, as one would say, as to do other things, as well. Try to move on what the next step is. I never look at the past as much. I try to go for the second step. Go bit by bit, like those stairs. Bit by bit, and I think it's worked a lot, especially with school and work. And as well, I guess you could say in like my competitive with Pokemon and other card games and stuff that you could go and compete, and sports as well. When I was young in high school, I first started not playing for any club team or anything, and then tried out and didn't make it, but it was reasonable. At that point I was kind of like, oh, I wish I could have made it because all my friends were there and stuff, but I just didn't have the skills and the capability to be in the part of the team. It's not what the coach wanted. Until one of my he was my Spanish teacher, but he was also one of the coaches there. He said, this whole summer I would recommend to either go and try to find somebody to help you boost up your skills. I guess you could still improve as well, but yeah, boost up your skills, and as well try to see what the next level it is for you. And but yeah, that's what I did. I searched up the team. I played for the team. My brother plays for that team now, but I played for that team for like 3 years, 4 years almost, pretty much my whole high school career. And the next year I was able to accomplish making a team, not just making a team, but starting for the team. I was being one of the captains, and it was a good achievement that I've had. For the last one, I would say is being creative. Creative. For me, I like to try out new things on what other people go with like them going the same path. I try to expand on what it is. I normally when I sit down and I'm trying to think of something, I always have to have a moment, or it's just by myself, so I could let the brain like imagine, like, okay, like we could do this, we could do that, and that's pretty much how people like think outside the box, right? I think at that point, I like to go through and see what other steps we can do, and if it works well. I mean, I could say like one example would be like when I play like when I play sports and when I play soccer or basketball, it's always trying to create like that, that vision of like, okay, yeah, the player's gonna go that way. How am I gonna go through these two players? You gotta chip it over. It's just simple things like that. I like to be creative. I don't just like to be like, oh, just pass it through, and then the defenders just take the ball. And yeah, I just like. I mean, I think that goes with more with like adventures. Like both those two. It's like I'll go for it, and then if it doesn't work well, then we'll just push on forward. Okay, I guess we could start with the bags here. See what we got. For my first, I would say, is something that is dear to me and that represents what I am. Hold on, let me see if I could move this right here. So as you can see here, this Brazil jersey is very dear to me because my dad and I went to some garage sales when I was like, I think I was like 9 or 10, and at that point I was starting to get into soccer, but it was just like casual, playing with my friends, it was, my neighbors and stuff. We have a field where we live up front, and like we just go and play. But it wasn't really much until my dad and I saw this jersey. At the point, I didn't know who he was, but my dad knew. He's been a huge soccer fan since he was little as well. And so when he showed me this and I bought it, I was like, oh, okay, the yellow, the green, how Brazil is. It was like, and they were dominating it that year as well. He bought it for me, and at that point it was kind of like the start of my love for the game. I enjoyed playing after, and I kind of had this player as people who watch soccer, know that this guy is like pretty much what it is, like magical. They call him like magic and stuff, and yeah, he pretty much influenced me to play soccer, watch and be support for everything. There was a good while as well where my whole family was supporting for Mexico and I was just supporting Brazil just because of him. I was being that one kid that was against what the family supported, But yeah, it influenced me. I would wear that shirt like every day when I was little in the summer, and I would just go and like try to copy his skills and stuff, and it brings back good memories, and I still have the shirt. I want to find it one day, because the scars, like my mom had to sew like the little part right here because I would just push my head too much and like rip, and I would be scared that it would be ripped. So you could see like my mom sewing like right here, and you could see like a few marks here. They used to have little stuff right here, like because it's like Nike sponsored, so it would be like Nike something, but it was like it was glued in, so the amount of times that I would wear it, it washed off, That's how long I've been wearing it, and yeah, I mean, till this day as well, he's still my idol. He's still somebody that I follow, and yeah, this shirt really does represent who I am, as well. This is where I get the creative side, and the skills that he used to do. I always like, oh, let me put my own mix into it. But let me see what the next bag is. Oh, okay. So this might be a little bit big, but let's see this right here. I'm trying to do both, commentate and open this. Here, I'll show you this first, and then I'll talk about it. So it is, as you can see, So yeah, so this is pretty much my collection, Pokemon collection at the moment. As I said, I do compete. I've been playing since 2011. Been on and off until COVID of 2020. Um, yeah, I've been going in through it. I was young when I first started and didn't really know much. As I said, I went to a garage sale with my dad. Same neighborhood as well, and I saw a box of Pokemon cards. And at that time, like my parents, they would buy me stuff, but it wouldn't be when it was like expensive, like I think they would say like they wouldn't buy me stuff that would be like, oh, you're just not gonna use it over again. But at that point, I really was really into Pokemon, so I was kind of just trying my best. And there's a kid who had a box with a bunch of Pokemon cards down. I was like, oh, okay, pick them up. And I guess he was trying to get rid of them, he was trying to make money. And he saw me, I was like, oh yeah, this. So he walked inside, and I remember he was holding like this. It was like the little folders. It was like a page and little folders where you put the cards inside. And he was holding them, like pretty much, he had them like this, like he was carrying them like this. And it was a whole stack like this. I remember I was so excited because I was like, oh my god. I guess my mom was just well, I mean, if they give us a good price for it, I'll be willing to buy it. And I guess the kid was just trying to, he's like, oh, $20. I can't remember specifically, but it came to a point where my mom was like, alright, I'll buy it. So it was a whole stack. And I remember we were going to other garage sales, but I wouldn't get out because I was looking through the pages. I was like, oh my god, I'm with that to my friends. And I remember when I got back home, one of my friends who is also my neighbor actually, he had a trampoline, and we were all sitting there, and I already had like the little stack and everything, and I just had my binder with the spirals and like put every page in there. And I remember I was just sitting there, and I was like, yeah, I'm all out right now, you guys don't know what I have. And I was trading, I was just happy that I was included into something, it was something that I love. And I guess that's what motivated me to like keep on playing, and I got a lot of my friends to play in this neighborhood. You could tell in a way that that they got influenced by me, but it was because, at that time, like, yes, we had like video games like the DS and stuff, but as well we like to play outdoors and do other stuff, and yeah, I taught them how to play. And I mean the thing about it is just it's basic math, like math, sort of adding, subtracting, multiplying, and I guess it helped not just me, but a lot of my friends in a way, to where in school as well, they'll be like, oh, this, and this, and like, it was, they were just regaining the math skills that they were, I wouldn't say lacking of, but they just, building up their strength. And yeah, and it came to a point where we also knew like what cards were good, what cards were not. And my mom would take us to the Tomball library, and they would have a club there, and people in there would actually play, and that's what opened my eyes on playing for pretty much, I guess you could say, like, against people you don't really know, like socialize, which is another part of my name. But yeah, I was able to socialize with the people, trade, and get to know them, and become new friends with them and stuff. And then later on throughout my years, like middle school and I guess you could say high school, it was just like I would be up and down, like I would play, but at the same time I'll do other stuff, like I had other intentions, like I was starting to play soccer, so I wasn't focusing more on that. And then later on, until like after I graduated high school, I remember this briefly. I think it was 2021 when I think it was when the winter storm hit, and we were all just like trying to figure out, okay, we're trying to prepare for it and stuff. And I was looking in my room, I was like, I need to find new clothes and stuff, and I forgot that I hid my binder under one of the clothing rack that I had or something. And I remember I found it, and I think at that time as well, people were like hyping up of I think it was, what's that YouTuber's name? Logan Paul. He was opening packs and stuff, and so I literally just came into that right moment when like they were just opening packs, and Pokemon just became a boom because nobody could really go out, and if they did, there wasn't that many people, so people were just buying products and stuff. They were like, you know, reliving their enjoyment from back then and stuff. And I guess I was too, you know. And I guess you could say at that point I started my it was like my introduction to competitiveness. You know, I went to a store nearby that hosted tournaments, and I was playing around and stuff, and I got to meet one of my friends. And at the time, I asked him, I was like, "Look, man, I don't really know much. I know how to play, but I want to get better. You know, I want to compete. I see these videos where people go to these big venues and do tournaments and stuff, and at that point, I was able to talk to him, and then he was pretty nice about it. We're still friends to this day, and he pretty much taught me how to play and stuff. And then at that point, we pretty much bit by bit went to a few stores, played a few tournaments, and just started progressing until now. You know, and especially now, like as you can see in like some of these boxes that I have. Let's see. Like, see, it's like pretty much a deck of cards, and then it's just like, you know, and I like to play it as well. It's something that relaxes me, and if I ever need space, you know, it's something that I could just go through, and you know, and as well, like socialize. It's something that I could socialize as well, because a lot of people during COVID, you know, since they were just quarantined and stayed in, they kind of messed up with their mental health, and you know, they were trying to, their schedule and like the way that they were living just flipped around, you know, and I guess they were trying to rebuild over and over again. And for a little while it happened to me as well, where I was just in the house, and you know, it was terrible, you know. And this, I really thank this, because it helped me like pretty much relive the way that I was back then. I mean, that's still the same now, but I'm just saying, like, it just, you know, it helped me push up again, and helped me socialize again, and it was just a bunch of enjoyment that you know, I hadn't felt like a good while because of COVID and stuff, you know. And you know, I think it every day, you know. I'm always like, man, I'm grateful for it happening, you know. Especially the friends that I have now, you know, everybody's really nice, especially in this community. It's like, you know, not just people who collect, but people who play as well, and you know, just enjoy, just doing whatever with it, you know. My second thing for my bag, I haven't put anything back. I just, you know, kind of hard holding the mic. Is a continuation of my Pokemon stuff. Now this hat represents the friendships and, like you say, part of what I've been living through, you know. So that's pretty much a group of friends and I that I met 2 years ago, I believe. Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. I went to the store not that far from here. It was like around the Conroe Woodlands area, and I pretty much got to meet a group of people who were there. At that time, I didn't know. They had a tournament, and I remember we were playing, and it was just my friend and I who drove over there, and we were just like, oh, you know, we always love to compete. It was something of like that we do, and like the weekends and stuff. We would be like, oh, there's a tournament here, and they're giving out packs, or they're giving out this. And so pretty much we headed to that store, and I got to meet my other group of friends who I am friends with now. But at that time I didn't know them until I played them bit by bit. I played one of my friends named Irvin at first, and I managed to win against him, and he's always been like super friendly and stuff, so you know. And then I got to play his friend, who they both worked together, or they still do, but and I got to play his friend after, and then I beat him. And then after a while, after like another round or two, I played one of our other friends who they weren't really friends. All three of them, they weren't really friends at the time with him. That seems Javier, but after now, we all got together because we kept on going to that same store every week, to hang out. And yeah, we pretty much after I played him, it was a tough match, and I managed to win at the end. But I wasn't able to get first place. I think I got like third or fourth. But at that point, they were all just like, hey, you're really good. We just started playing a few months ago, and we're trying to build up and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, I've been trying to, group around people and stuff because, I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to help other people as well get better, and a lot of my friends, I guess they just play casually, and I'm like, no, I'm trying to push forward. You can win money out of this, and stuff, and it's like, imagine the better you get, you're pretty much doing something that you like, and then it pays it for you as well. It's like, and so I was talking to them and stuff, and yeah, we all got together, and I think at that point as well, it was either Arlington or San Antonio. They were gonna host a tournament, and we were all talking about it. And I was just so excited because we were like, oh, it was their first tournament, but for me as well, like I like to go to those tournaments as well, because it's like thousands and thousands of people who go there and compete. And bit by bit, we started traveling around. We went to New Orleans this last year in the summer, and at that point, we started the brand, which will be named Palette Lounge, if you can see it. And our friend Javier, who was pretty much like the main organizer, he pretty much helped out setting up the hats. Also have a hoodie, which is getting cleaned right now for this weekend. But yeah, we pretty much competed this past few years. We've been going through other states and stuff, other cities, and we're trying to build it. We've been doing stuff online as well, like YouTube and Twitch. We record games, plus like playing against each other and commentating and stuff. It's pretty fun. I enjoyed it. And as well, when new product comes out from the Pokemon company, we try to get it as early as we can and try to open up the packs as what it is right now, with the hype and stuff. But yeah, we try to go through that, and yeah, as well, I also have this, which is like my dice with crochet, but yeah, it's something that we've been pushing through, and I wouldn't say I would want it as my main career, but if it would have happened, I would really appreciate. I'll be really thankful if I do. It's something that it's like playing sports. Like professionally. You're doing something that you enjoy doing, and as long as you're working hard and pushing forward, and succeeding bit by bit, like you'll get enjoyment out of it, and you get paid for it. And as well as doing that content creating side, I've always enjoyed doing YouTube videos. Like I bought myself this during COVID. This is off topic, but I bought myself this during COVID to start my podcast and stuff. And I just been trying to go through it and hopefully build something out of it, especially with the career that I'm going to, which is something goes similar with computers and coding and stuff, creating apps, which I'm really interested in. My next presentation is, this really didn't fit in the hat, but I do have it here. This is my Akatsuki, because you could say straw hat, something like that. I can't really figure out the main name for it, but yeah, I had this made by my mom. She likes to do stuff like this, arts and crafts and stuff, and I had asked her to pretty much help me set it up. I pretty much tried to set it up for a convention that my friend and I were going to. And at that point, we were just trying to figure out, like, okay, what are we gonna dress up as? You know, this is like our third year going, and we didn't dress up this last 2 years, so we were like, we're trying to, you know, be part of that whole thing, you know, something that we enjoy doing, you know, and enjoy watching and stuff, and yeah, it was something that pretty much represents me. You know, I love watching anime. I love, you know, Japanese culture. You know, and not just that, but just, you know, like the Asian culture as, like, you know, South Korea as, you know, the Philippines and everything. You know, it's the food, the music, and everything. It was like, what was it, like 2 years ago, three? There was a time where, like, people were getting into, like, there was, like, the genre was like Japanese city pop or something, and I went through it. You know, I now have, like, a bunch of playlists with a bunch of, like, songs like that. And, man, that's probably, like, my favorite genre at this point. You know? I don't know. I was always liked smoothing of, like, music and stuff, and as well, like, you know, it's a good influence for kids, so younger kids. You know, I usually used to watch it when I was little. You know, every Saturday morning, waking up early in the morning, trying to see what the new episode's gonna be and stuff. And so, you know, with at that point, you know, I was into Naruto, and managed to you know, see a lot of the episodes, and, you know, it's nothing bad. I mean, everything always has a bad thing, but most times for anime, as long as, you know, you start with the OG, like, I guess you could say, cast of certain animes, it's nothing bad, you know. But yeah, I mean, something that I've loved doing, I love watching, you know, as well with the music. I like the intros for it, and sometimes, especially with, like, I think there's one called, like, Cowboy Bebop, and they put a lot of jazz influence into the song, of the intros and the outros, and sometimes in the middle for the transitions. And, you know, I really love the anime. Lastly, for Bag Presentation, let's see, I have this canvas, which is a Chet Baker canvas, as you can see. I don't think a lot of people know about this, but I think I played, what was this? Probably like 10, 12 years ago. I played the saxophone for a good year or two. I've always been a big fan of jazz, especially with the saxophone. And at the time, I think it was like, there's one song that really got me into it. I was in a music class somewhere in middle school or something, and they just played different jazz songs and stuff to show us the culture. And I think it was a song called Take Five. I forgot. It was like something Quasset or something. I forgot the last name, but yeah, it was a big influence. I've really enjoyed the pretty much different genres of it. I started listening to, like, the Bee Gees, Michael Jackson, you know, like 80s stuff, you know, and transitioned bit by bit to, you know, 90s rap, early 2000s, you know, R&B, and, you know, so on and so on. And, you know, even other cultures like, you know, Brazilian funk and Japanese city pop, or, you know, stuff like that. But this, for me, is represents of what I am with the music. My good friend Jaira, who at a moment he was going through a rough path, and he just wanted to listen to some music, some smoothing music, and he wasn't really searching on, I guess you could say, like, he wasn't really trying to go through a whole, like, genre of just looking through it, you know. He just wanted somebody to recommend him and stuff. And I would always put him on like certain songs and stuff, and he always like he was like, man, I appreciate it, man. Like every time I see you, man, it's always like something new, you know. And I guess at that time, I had showed him this album. Um, I forgot the name of it, but he pretty much just plays jazz, but he has vocals. Wait. And at that point, he pretty much was trying to learn something that he didn't understand. You know, he was just like, oh, you know, I want to try a different genre. So I was like, all right, you know, I set you up. I sent him an album. You know, I think I made a playlist as well, and most of it was Chet Baker, which is a jazz musician that plays the trumpet. And at that point, he pretty much was just trying, you know, listening to me and stuff. And I guess he listened to it for a good while until one day he told me, he was like, we were playing basketball, I think. He was like, hey man, I appreciate the playlist, man. Like, you know, you pretty much influenced me on listening to new genres. You know, I've been listening to other genres as well, and you know, Chet Baker's been one of my all-time favorites now. You know, I love to listen to his music. You know, I was kind of in a rough path, and this has helped me like ease on and take a weight off my shoulder. You know, I've been able to push forward, and you know, it's just something, you know, just small things that you don't really notice at first, but yeah, he thanked me, and you know, I've been trying to do the same bit by bit with other, you know, just friends or acquaintances or something, you know. Whenever it comes to introducing them to music, I'm always like, hey man, like, you should try to listen to this or listen to that, and if they don't like it, then it's fine, you know. Can't really force anyone to listen to it, but yeah, I mean, and then for this, he pretty much, let me see if I can get, he pretty much just got me this for my birthday. He was like, yeah man, this is something you know, you introduced me to, and I want to get you something to represent of what it was, you know. And I always keep it in my desk whenever I have it. Yeah, I mean, been trying to influence on other songs for a few of my friends as well. And yeah, pretty much it. But yeah, as well, thank you for listening. I know I think it's like 38 minutes. I wish I could edit this, but I can't. But yeah, I thank you for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed my introduction. And yeah, hopefully everything goes well in this class. I really enjoy pushing myself on other things, and thankfully I haven't done this in person, because I would have really been shaking right now. But I guess now, since it's just recording, I can have a open variation of trying to start over, or you know, do other things, you know, and I just have to go one go. But because it's probably like my 5th or 6th take. But yeah, I appreciate for the help with everything, and yeah, thank you for watching. Bye bye.